She is old enough to get her driver's license and go to her prom, but this 16-year-old is still riding in a car seat. Doctors have never seen anything like it, and neither have you. Bob Brown with a little girl who could give the world the key to eternal youth.
They are coming-of-age rituals, sometimes lavishly designed and exorbitantly expensive. We call them Sweet 16 parties. These were documented by MTV. Elaborate or simple, they're meant to represent turning points in life. A 16th birthday, once reached, always remembered. This year, Brooke Greenberg reached that milestone. She turned 16 years old in January, although she has remained the size of an infant. And some scientists believe there is no one else on Earth like her, because Brooke has not aged like the rest of us.
We're dealing with, does she actually have something, a secret, that could help? Why doesn't she age? Is she the fountain of youth?
She loves to shop, just like a woman.
When this 16-year-old goes on a shopping trip, she goes in a stroller with her mother, Melanie Greenberg. The young woman walking with them is Carly Greenberg, Brooke's younger sister. The fact that Brooke is in her mid-teens is so mind-boggling.
Say hi.
Hi.
That if another mother with a toddler asks Melanie how old Brooke is, most times Melanie doesn't even try to explain.
If she's 8 years old, I would say 8 months old. If she's 12 years old, I'd say 12 months old. So I would say 16 months old now.
16 months.
Okay.
Is she laughing?
Do you want to go?
That's great.
Yeah, see, she wants you to hold her.
Oh, absolutely. How are you?
Brooke was laughing and seemed light as a feather when I lifted her. She's weighed around 14 or 15 pounds since she was 5 years old. Her mental age is estimated to be 9 months to a year old, although her family says she has ways of expressing herself like the teenager she is.
She looks like a 6-month-old, but she kind of has a personality of a 16-year-old.
Here, do you not like the doggy?
I mean, sometimes we joke about how she rebels.
She makes it known what she likes and what she doesn't like.
Emily and Caitlin are Brooke's older sisters. Carly is nearly 3 years younger than Brooke.
It must be somewhat of a strange feeling to have an older sister who is like an infant to you.
It was to start out with, but as I got older, she was just like another little sister to me.
In her first 6 years, Brooke went through a series of emergencies, and then the Greenbergs say she would recover miraculously, often in ways doctors could not explain. 7 perforated stomach ulcers, a brain seizure followed by what was diagnosed as a stroke that weeks later left no apparent damage. At the age of 4, she fell into a lethargy that caused her to sleep for 14 days. Then doctors diagnosed a brain tumor, and the Greenbergs went to buy a casket for her.
And then we got a call that Brooke had opened her eyes and she was fine. There was no tumor. We'll keep her for a couple days and you can take her home.
What's the matter?
She overcomes every obstacle that is thrown her way.
Greetings, how are you?
Pediatrician Lawrence Bakula has overseen Brooke's care for most of her 16 years.
Is she unique in medical history from what you know?
As far as I know, the best known names in medicine, in their experience, which was pretty much a worldwide kind of experience, none of them had seen anyone who matched up to Brooke.
One of the things Brooke loves most is movement, the kind Carly helps provide, steering her through the house on an ottoman. Brooke has a caretaker during daytime hours, but the family's schedule revolves around her. This girl, once described as frozen in time.
Her hair and her nails are the only 2 things that grow. She has pajamas and outfits that are 10 or 12 years old.
The Greenbergs take no vacations, have few nights out, and involve Brooke in as many family activities as possible.
To go to a swimming pool, belong to a summer club. We tried all those things and it's lacking something, and it's lacking that Brooke's not there. We were not a family without Brooke.
Ready? Come on, let's go.
We're going to take her to get her driver's license next week.
In fact, she still rides in an infant seat at the age when other young women are getting a driver's license.
She'll never play softball. She'll never get married.
She does go to school, a Baltimore County public school called Ridge Ruxton, dedicated to special education. Based on her age, she would be a junior in high school.
Good morning.
Jewel Adile, one of Brooke's teachers, says she wonders sometimes what Brooke is thinking or perceiving.
Look, watch. People who have worked with her in the past or briefly see her say possibly there's no changing. Good girl. But I think in her heart she changes. I think from day to day there are changes. They're not just as visible as you see in a lot of teens.
The fact that whatever changes occur are so difficult to see is exactly what makes Brooke so important to science. The rest of us are destined to go through this subtle but momentous process of physical change as we grow older. Scientists want to know why this is not happening predictably with Brooke, why her aging process has been so irregular, and what it means to the understanding of our genetic makeup.
These are MRIs over the ages, I believe, about 1 year up to current. There's been very minimal changes in Brooke's brain.
Dr. Richard Walker of the University of South Florida says Brooke's body is not developing as a coordinated unit, but as independent parts that are out of sync. For instance, about half the teeth in her mouth are still baby teeth. She is 16, but hasn't reached puberty.
Various parts of her body, rather than all being at the same stage, they seem to be disconnected.
Dr. Walker and geneticist Maxine Sutcliffe of All Children's Hospital have studied samples of Brooke's cells and DNA to look for what they think may be a genetic mutation, something never seen before, that has affected the way she ages. They believe that if they can isolate the gene, it may provide clues to timeless questions about why we age and die.
Without being sensational, I'd say yes, this is an opportunity for us to answer the question why we're mortal, at least to test it, and if we're wrong, we can discard it, but if we're right, we've got the golden ring.
If they identify the gene or complex of genes, Dr. Walker says, they will then test in laboratory animals to see whether they can switch it off, cause the gene to stop working, and the animal's aging process to slow down.
When you find it, how will you know it?
We'll know it because in our test animal, the animal's lifespan will be extended beyond its normal limits.
Is there any way to judge or speculate what her lifespan might be based on her current circumstance?
I would have to say that's more of a crystal ball question. I think there's no way of knowing.
And Carly's in that puka.
The visual evidence of that unpredictable future is always there in the family pictures, photographs in which everyone but Brooke is aging.
How do you manage to categorize these?
Carly is the key. She's in a lot of the pictures, and you can see her face change.
The Greenbergs, too, are fascinated by the prospects of whatever scientific breakthrough may stem from this 16-year-old, whose own life is governed by the most basic elements: food and shelter, a family's love, and their ability to see in her far more than meets the eye.
And you've come to terms with the idea that she might never grow up.
We love her just the way she is. We don't want to change her.
What if Brooke holds the secret to aging? We'd like to find out. We'd like to help people. When people ask you, is everybody's here for a reason? Maybe this is why Brooke is here.